This is Mark Cooper then, head of Newport at home. Mark, you've had a day less in preparation than you'd normally have after a midweek game. How's training been today?
Very light, really, as you'd expect. We'll have some players that played the other night that will play on Saturday or tomorrow. So it's had to be light and making sure that we're getting the players' legs back and they're fully recovered. Not ideal. Newport have had an extra day, but that's the way it is.
And does the quality of the performance and the result down at Bournemouth mean that emotionally it's one that's very easy to allow the players to move on quickly because that's what they have to do?
I think they should gain a lot of confidence from it. It's energy sapping in terms of you playing against a Premier League team on their own patch that are pulling you all over the place, and you've got a lot of ground to cover. But listen, the Premier League boys do it. They play in Europe during the week and they play in the Premier League at the weekend. So if they can do it, we can do it.
And is Newport a good game to come back to? I mean, they're one of those teams that they always seem to be at it and up for it.
Yeah, of course. It's like you know what you're going to get. They're going to be right at it. The manager gets a real tune out of the players. They're 100 mile an hour. They are in your face, and we know we've got to be up for it.
And they're still unbeaten in League Two, of course. You took one unbeaten record last week. It'd be nice to take another one, wouldn't it?
I think Newport are unbeaten in something like 16 games, aren't they? From the back end of last season as well, and if you take the playoffs out of it, so they've done great with what they do. They do great, and it's going to be a tough test, and we'll have to be right on our game.
What does their record say about their consistency?
It says that they're always up for it. They're always difficult to play against. They start with a solid foundation, and they work from there.
Did you go to the West Ham game Tuesday?
I watched it on telly.
And what did you make of it?
Very organised, very difficult to score against. We know that.
How's everyone physically after Wednesday? Is everyone okay? You still got everyone from that night?
Yeah. Obviously, as you'd expect, they were still excited by it. I think just the occasion in terms of playing in a full stadium at a Premier League ground and being that close to international players, and I think they thoroughly enjoyed it and still talking about it now. But we've got to put that to bed and move on and give Newport our full focus and respect.
What's the latest on how Liam Shepherd's progressing?
Slow.
Well, I suppose slow and steady better than giant strides before you can trying to run before you can walk.
Yeah, but when you look at Don Bernard and Dokes' performances, it takes the pressure off that being rushed back.
Bury have been expelled from the league this week. What's Charlie Cooper's situation? Because obviously he went there. Did he sign for starters, or is he still on Forest Green's books?
He's not on Forest Green's books, no. I think what's happened to Bury is an absolute shambles from the EFL. How they've allowed the newest owner to take over the club when he's been insolvent 43 times out of 51 companies. Tells a real damning story about the EFL. I think it was the previous incumbent at the EFL that authorised Steve Dale to take over. They still let Bury get promoted, whether they weren't paying their bills or their players. And then when they've got a decent bid on the table, they've decided to throw them out the pyramid and cause all kinds of havoc with the League One programme. I just think it's a complete shambles, the EFL at the minute, and somebody needs to look at it.
I suppose there but for the grace of God goes every club almost, and just a case of being thankful that you're at a well-run club, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you have a process in place, when you have to pass a fit and proper persons test, and the person that has apparently passed that test has had 43 insolvencies out of 51, they've either not done the test or they've not done it properly. So, shame on them.
Something doesn't seem fit for purpose. Do you feel cheated by the fact that they went up and haven't been able to play in League One this season, and obviously you missed out in the playoffs?
No, I think you finish where you finish, but it's like us signing Ronaldo and Messi and promising to pay them £1 million a week, we get promoted, but we know we can't pay them. But we're just going to get promoted. And that's not Ryan Lowe's fault, that's the Bury's fault, that's the EFL for allowing that to happen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mark, just want to take you back to Bournemouth. When you woke up on Thursday, did it feel like a victory? Because I think that's probably what it felt for most Forest Green fans.
We stayed in Bournemouth, me and James Mooney and Rich Hughes, because they kindly agreed to show us around the training facility, something that we're aspiring to do. And the goodwill and the congratulations and pats on the back we got was great, you know, for a Premier League club to be that sort of positive about us was really good. And it felt good to be at a Premier League club and to be able to compete. You know, they showed that they meant business getting through the tie with the team they picked and the subs they brought on, and they showed us full respect by doing that, and they needed all of those to beat us in the end. And I think we describe it as a moral victory. Yeah.
Eddie Howe spoke very glowingly of yourself and your team. Do you hope this might sort of foster some links with Bournemouth in the future?
You'd certainly hope so. You'd certainly hope so. We try and listen. I always say there's no right way or wrong way to play the game, and we all have our different ways, different styles. But like I say, they were complimentary on how we've played this season, yeah, you would think if they were going to loan some players out, we might get them.
I noticed that Faz was clutching Callum Wilson's shirt at the end of the game. I guess Forest Green aren't really in a situation where they can give their shirts to the opposition. It just shows how different the clubs are at the moment.
To be honest, their players were brilliant after the game, and yesterday when I spoke to some of them at the training ground there, the Bournemouth boys, and they were full of admiration for our young players, and they'd taken our boys' shirts, you know, and they took them, and you know, they were really good with our boys. You know, they made sure that they got their shirts and looked after them, and like I say, yesterday morning at the training ground, they were brilliant, and they made a fuss of us.
Yeah. Just one more from me. It's incredible to think 7 games, 5 clean sheets. Who takes the credit for that?
I think it's a collective, really. It's we work, and we try and work hard on the coaching, on the training pitch in terms of how we play, and obviously Matt Mills coming into the club has helped us actually on the pitch in an organisational sense, and I think when you have a lot of the ball, it means you haven't got as much defending to do. But we've defended really well. We defended brilliantly overnight. We defended brilliantly at Bradford, and that was probably something that we didn't do as well last year. And we've not looked like scoring as much as we did last year, but we've defended better.